And if they're not making money, we're not making money. So we say that quite often. If it's not working for the operator, it doesn't work for us in the long run.
If you've ever heard of MUSKOX and are curious about our company and our products, this is the video for you. We look back at all the changes and improvements we've made in the last year, introduce you to new members of our team, and hear from Ron and Adam about the reason we build the products we do.
I changed my haircut because of what you've done to me over the last couple of years.
You wanted to be like that.
I think what's neat is this was our biggest year ever, right? We sold more blowers, built more blowers and sold more blowers this year than we ever have before. And it was a challenging year.
You know, everybody got concerned. No snow last year, big concern. We appreciate, you know, the ability of our consumers to have a vision, you know, that it will snow, that there is money to be made. So a challenging year, and we feel real good where we're at, and I believe our customers do too.
We knew that going into 2024. At that point, there hadn't been a lot of snow. We knew there was going to be some challenges that were out there. I think we overcame those challenges. With those challenges come a lot of opportunities, and we've leaned into those opportunities. But this year, we were done with our build. We built more than we've ever built. I said that. We were done faster than we've ever been before, and then just put us in a better position as we were shipping these blowers out to our end users and to our dealerships. So they got their equipment faster, and we've been working on training them and getting everything set up. So it was awesome to wrap up earlier than we ever have and get these snowblowers sent all over. But let's start with our 78-inch blower. This is where we started, right? This is the bread and butter, as they would call it. This is where the innovation first began that we're really excited about. So when I see that machine, I'll have Ron hop over on that side.
I was fixing the light here.
We remembered everything except one light, so I'm glad you got that turned on.
Yep.
But looking at this model, so this is our 5th iteration already. So we're getting old. Been around for a while doing this. But right away, something that catches my eye is this logo being on top. Now, I know that MUSKOX logo, that looks cool, but there's more behind the story. So why don't you talk about what your team did different with the housing this year?
Yeah, we added that cutout in there. Oh, no, we did some more. We added some thickness to our fan housing. We went up to 1/4 inch thick on that fan housing. Go ahead, Adam. You maybe have understood why we would do that.
Yeah, so we're always listening to you guys as operators, and we're operators as well. So we're always taking from that experience. And one thing that we saw with snowblowers is that housing tends to be a breaking point for a snowblower. So we put time and energy into creating a thicker steel that allowed us to operate better, not just for the short term, but we're looking into the long term for you guys as operators. So it made the machine a little bit heavier, but a little bit thicker, and we're just taking a wear point and making it that much stronger. So we're really excited about that. That was standard on all of our blowers this year, and it's something we're continuing forward with. So we're very excited about that. Also on the 78, you turned on the light, which was fantastic back here.
Good job, Ron.
But something that we definitely recognized was that snowblowers should really have a consistent speed for wet and heavy snow. So why don't you talk about that flow regulator and what you guys did there?
Yeah, I'll get down here and point it out. You'll notice on this year's blower, which we didn't have in the past, it's a bypass valve. So we run our fluid full flow to the fan motor. After the fan motor, we dump the fluid back to tank other than 23 gallons a minute. What that does, it makes our auger run at a consistent speed, a lot slower than we used to be on our high flow machines, which works better in wet snow.
Let's talk about our tires a little bit.
The MUSKOX Snow Tire. Designed for the Bobcat Toolcat, it pairs perfectly with your MUSKOX snowblower.
If you take a stock Toolcat, for instance, the outside of the standard tires is wider than 60-inch. So we said, well, let's build a tire that goes within 60 inches. So we offset the rim correctly. And then going on icy surfaces, having a siped tire, not souped, siped tire, helps grip ice, which anybody driving in the northern states here on ice knows that a good soft rubber and Sipe tires give you traction. So that is what we chose to go with on the Toolcat. At the same time, we increased the height, which increased the road speed. So going from job to job, you get up close to 20 miles an hour with the Toolcat, which I know myself, we use one here. It's nice to get back and forth between projects.
This year we started our pre-assembly earlier than ever. So by the time you get your blower, there's been a whole process to build that blower, obviously. But what's been interesting from a layman's perspective is how far out in advance that construction begins, and also how many different complicated processes take place before the blowers are loaded on the trucks and shipped to our customers. So, Ron, would you mind walking us through a little bit, what is pre-assembly and what did it mean to get it done in January this year?
Yeah, I always use the example of Henry Ford. We build around 60 blowers a week. And that isn't just build them, we build them, run them, do the quality checks, crate them. Starts with purchasing, getting the parts here, then the organization of those parts, and then we do pre-assembly. So when we build a blower, there are more complicated components like the hydraulics. There's the master control block and a number of hoses. We'll pre-assemble all of those for a build for maybe a couple weeks. We'll do a few hundred blocks, have all the components on it. So when we're doing assembly, they'll bring in a tote with that, we call it the octopus, because it looks like an octopus, and it goes on the blower. The augers, the other parts, the bearings are pre-assembled. Everything's ready to assemble on the blower. Therefore, when we run the assembly line, we only run 3 people on our assembly line, just to give you the idea of size. So we run down that line, and like I say, it's about 20 blowers a day. They come off that line, so everybody really, it's a big team effort to get that done.
Now, one thing I have to add is that this year we've become a much bigger company and that we've been adding people as the year has gone on. What do you guys think about maybe talking through some of the high points this year as the team has grown and that level of service, and how you guys have passed on what you were passionate about snowblowers, how you've passed that on to more of us as we've come on to work with you?
So we get to talk about the people that actually make it happen.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
It's a good idea.
Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Noah Asana. I started at MUSKOX in January, so I've been working here for about 12 months. I first started in assembly, and I moved on to now I'm working more with service and parts. So whenever they call our service line, I'm the one that answers any questions they might have, or delivers them parts if they need parts. I'm the one that ships out the orders, so yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed about him, he still has hair.
Just give him a few years. He is very young. Noah, what's kind of neat about Noah, and if his mom and dad are watching, I went to high school with his dad and know his mom very well. And Noah had graduated with a business degree, and he wanted to use his hands. Mm-hmm. Well, we can use a lot of extra hands around here.
His head a lot. His hands a little, his head a lot, I think. He's
I think it started with using his hands, which is super important. Yeah. And then he's had an opportunity to evolve with this company. And what's really neat about Noah, he's like a sponge when it comes to information.
Unbelievable.
We give him a task, and he achieves it at a super high level very quickly. And he's a hard worker, and he's been such an important role. So he started off by building snowblowers for us all summer long. Yep. We identified that talent, and we want to do everything we can to keep him around. And now he's moved into a new role with us where he works along with Dean that you guys met last year. Now they've moved into shipping, and now they're embracing a new software system that we're leaning into.
There you go. That's a good way to say that.
So we're learning all of that.
Absolutely. So I had noticed on that, we must have been busy in the shop. I see you had him out in the cold when you were filming that. I seen steam coming out of his mouth. So I don't know who made that decision, but you know that.
Well, we met.
I toughen him up here in northern Minnesota.
Absolutely.
We did meet Bob last year.
Oh,
he's the one that pays the bills, so maybe to pay the heat bill.
The heat was turned down that day. Oh, geez, there.
My name is Tim Sordahl. I've been working here at MUSKOX for a little over a year now. Started off in production and then slowly got evolved into a purchasing role, which I'm pretty excited about, working with suppliers directly, and then also working with on new development here at MUSKOX. Ron's always thinking outside the box, so we're always chasing the new and greatest thing. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy that part of it.
So I'll start with Tim quick, and I get a little choked up when it comes to Tim. So Tim, now back to this family, friends, small community. John was trying to make a joke about me being old again because Tim and I graduated high school together. And Tim and I have been good friends since we were in kindergarten, and that friendship carried through high school and also after high school. We actually lived together a few different times, and our lives took different paths as we were chasing different careers. We had an opportunity to cross paths with Tim again, and he came on board. And I talked about that earlier with Noah. Tim's a very similar story. Tim came in because we needed hands. We needed people that could build these blowers, and it's a super important role to build these blowers. The quality control, get them done, get it done fast. And then every one of these blowers, they got to work perfectly, because if they don't work for you out in a snowstorm, it's not a good situation. So Tim helped build those blowers. And then you really started to recognize that talent that I've known Tim's had forever. You knew him when he was younger. You knew him through the years. Then you got a chance to work with him. So why don't you kind of talk about what Tim's doing with this company right now?
Well, with Tim, like he said, he started with us. Very important part of our company is assembling our product, quality control, getting things assembled. And Tim is a real aggressive, get it done guy. I used to pride myself in being the earliest guy to work, and the latest one here, he took over for me. I tell you, at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, he's always here. Where I noticed when I was behind on some phone calls with some vendor, I had Tim get on the phone. I noticed that he could interact at a high level with vendors or people and understood compassion and partnership, and just was a natural to pick up the purchasing engineering role here at MUSKOX. He's doing a great job. Has really taken a lot of pressure off me to be able to work on what I like to do, creating new stuff. So great to have Tim on board, doing a great job for us here at MUSKOX.
So we added a friendly face at MUSKOX here in the summer. Should we meet him?
Yeah, 100.
Who's friendly around here?
There's literally one person, and we're about to see who that is.
Hi, I'm Paul Mulmunger. I'm working here at MUSKOX since about April, which is about 7 months ago. I work in engineering. I've been an engineer, I guess, all my life here for about 40-ish years or so. And I happen to have worked with Ron back in the old days for about 20 years, and now I'm back. We're back together. My expertise is probably in the CAD area of it. You know, that's always been what I've done, I guess, starting way back. That's kind of what they needed help with. You know, Ron's got all kinds of ideas, right? He's got a lot of ideas, and our job is to get them on paper, so to speak, so that people can make them.
Ron, I have to ask, what have you done to sweet Paul? Because the way that his voice dropped, Ron's got a lot of ideas, and we just got to get him on paper.
The little I get to work with Paul, I think John nailed it. Like, Paul's just a super kind soul.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes to Paul to complain about trying to get their idea through.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he sits there, he takes it all in like a sponge. Last night, these guys were setting up cameras till late. You were off to Minneapolis developing a new product for us. And Paul's in the shop still well past everybody left. Now he's getting his jobs done because all day he's listening to everybody's ideas. And
marketing people have ideas.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lucas Brown here with MUSKOX Snowblowers. I do the assembly management and work with Ron real close in R&D and manufacturing. Do a lot of different stuff.
A lot of different stuff. Ron, I get the sense that Lucas is a man of few words. Would you mind filling in a few of the gaps with what Lucas does here for you?
Well, pretty much everything. He's been right-hand man to me in R&D. He jumps in and welds, cuts, wants to make parts. He happens to be a real tall, skinny kid, so anybody that comes in a shop thinks he's another one of my sons, you know, just because he is physique. But no, great, intelligent young kid.
Luke's got a lot of abilities, from running equipment to welding to fixing things to, John, another talent he has, I'm taking my little sister ice fishing, and I've hired Luke to be the guide because he's a good ice fisherman as well. So he's a man of many talents, and it's fun to see that. We talked about all the potential people have that we get to see as we grow. He's 18 years old. The sky's the limit for him. He's got a lot of talent. So it's going to be fun to see where Luke goes, and hopefully we get to go along the ride.
Experiences
for
with
Luke's
us.
talent.
Yep.
We're going to work with you, right? We're going to find the right fit for you, find out what machine you're using, because like we said earlier, if you guys are successful with your operation, we become successful with our operation.
I'm
And
just checking if there's vodka in here.
that'll be for
Just
later,
kidding.
if everything goes well. But reach out to us. We love when we get a chance to talk to you guys, find that perfect fit for the MUSKOX, for you guys to go out, because you guys do a huge service for your communities, right? You guys are taking care of those communities. You're moving that snow. You're allowing people to get to school. You're allowing kids to get to daycare. You're allowing the world to function in big snowstorms. So we realize the responsibility we have to have a machine that allows you guys to operate, to go service your community. So to you operators that do that, very much appreciate that. It takes a village to do a company, and it's outstanding. Thanks to Ron and everything he does, but thank to everybody in this company. It's exciting for him and I to be building this together, and it's pretty outstanding what we've achieved with everybody that we work with everybody that's out there. And thank you for a great 2024 to the operators, to everybody that we work with, to our vendors, and to Ron. Thank you for a great 2024, and let's kick some ass in 2025.